So yeah, I've been living with my friend at his flat, and it's actually been really nice. I'm actually a lot happier now. Yeah, so that's that. I've moved out because I just had arguments with the parents at home. So I've moved out and I live here now. It's really lovely. I just yeah, I live here now. Um, so what I wanted to talk about today was Russia. Not just Russia itself, but like the Russian monarchy and the revolution. Because a lot of people think that during the night of the revolution, the actual people broke into the palace, they stormed the palace, when actually barely nothing happened. It was very sort of quiet, nothing really happened. Um, and the Tsar was just told to stay in St. Petersburg until he was taken away. But there's that. Also, the Russian palaces, like, most of them were destroyed in the war. And because they don't have that kind of appearance, like, they don't have that kind of, like, they don't have that old feel because the colours are so bright, because they were all restored. Um, and they don't feel old, in my opinion. Like, they just look like brand new, like they've just been made. You know, they don't have that kind of old appearance on them. And also, I was speaking to someone about this the other day. I was saying that the Russian monarchy, you know, it was so like, it was so extravagant. I got a spot. Um, it was so extravagant, like just everything. I mean, like, yes, that you know that like you know, it's hard to explain because like the Russian palaces, like they were just gold everywhere, gold all over the place. But even the servants wore gold. They had like these golden uniforms, and like just the glass in the windows had gold in it, so it was more sort of fogged up, so you couldn't see. Um, and it's just amazing. I just wanted to talk about it today because I'm really fascinated with like the last Russian royal family. Because basically people think that it was an execution that was good for the people. Well, actually, it was a brutal and disgusting murder, you know, that happened. I mean, like, a whole entire innocent family. It's just like Marie Antoinette and her family, Louis XVI and all that. They were killed, slaughtered, I say, because it was. They were slaughtered um, for the will of the people. And if you want if you want to feel free, why would you murder some innocent family just because you want to be free? It's like what they should have done all those years ago was to take away the absolute monarchy and let them still rule, but they won't be as grand as they were. They won't have all the rights that they did. And the court obviously would be a bit less extravagant. Um, but I just don't agree with revolutions at all. People think, oh yeah, it's the will of the people. And yeah, if you think about it, the people are getting what they want, but how they treat the royal families is disgusting. And I think that people need to think more clearly um, about this because I went on Omegle the other day because I had a question for people. I wanted to find out people's answers. And I tried that question mode thing and I typed in monarchy or revolution. I got about 6 revolutions and 2 monarchies. Isn't that stupid? People should be more open towards monarchy nowadays and they shouldn't be so evil towards it. I mean, yes, it does cost a lot of money, millions of pounds to run our monarchy, but I mean, our British monarchy is a symbol of England itself. I mean, they're like the only um, they're the only sort of family that represent our history. People think, oh yeah, history's not really that important, Well, if you think about it, actually, the monarchy bring more tourists, so we get more money flooding in. I mean, when tourists come to England, Buckingham Palace is the first building they want to see. Um, and tourists love. I mean, like most Americans and most Canadians love our monarchy, and the British people they're just like sitting around moping about how the taxes are like ridiculously high and that sort of thing. And it's like you shouldn't be worrying about your taxes. At least you're still alive, you know. At least you got a home. At least you can manage. You know, it's just I don't think it's right at all. People are probably sitting there thinking, "What a load of bollocks he's talking about." Well, yeah, maybe I am, but I don't feel like I don't think that people are really that respectful towards the Queen, and she's obviously a really nice woman. People just think she's some old bitch, but like I don't know, it's just something, and people think there's all this stupid conspiracy theories that she's part of the Illuminati. Do you really think the British monarchy would be allowed to be part of the Illuminati? I mean, maybe the Queen has had like meetings and stuff with some members of the Illuminati, but I don't think she's a member. And I don't think either any of the royal family members are members of the Illuminati. I think that's stupid to even think that. She's part of the Bilderberg group as well, but that's probably they're just probably talking about nothing, like because we're all sitting here wondering what they're talking about in these secret meetings they all have, but they're probably talking about nothing. Probably sitting there going, "Nice day, innit?" Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't be talking about, "Oh, we're gonna destroy the world in 3 days. Oh my god." Do you know what I mean? That's like they wouldn't be doing that. They'd just be sitting there, probably discussing what they're going to do with the world. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's going to be something negative. I mean, the world is corrupt enough as it is, but I don't think the Queen or the President, I mean, seeing as they're leading powers of their countries, I don't think they would try and do bad for their countries. Um, and like people are so negative. Just what's so good about a revolution to begin with, right? Yeah, a beautiful, stunning palace is usually wrecked by the people when they want to get in there and get the monarchs. Also, like just killing, murder. It's not just the monarchs that get killed. It's the guards, the royal guards killing the people. It's just killing, brutal, murder, all that sort of thing. And then there's no good that comes out of it. People are happy. They're sitting there saying, yes, we're getting our rights. But there's a queen sitting in a cell not that far from you, and she can't even see her husband on the last days of her life before she's killed off. And her children are beaten nearly to death by the guards of the prison because the guards of the prison want to force the children to learn songs about the French Revolution. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. You know, like, why would you even want a revolution if innocent families are just gonna get murdered? What for the people? Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't agree with it, and I'm in favour of the monarchy rather than the people, because yes, they live in a big palace. Yes, it's unfair because the people are hungry and all this bollocks. But monarchy is interesting to me. I love the pomp, the ceremony, the extravagance. I don't really think about the political side of it all because that just does my head in. I just think about the positive sides. Beautiful buildings, beautiful clothing, history, that sort of thing. And I'm a history person myself. And I love my history. And if you guys want to know anything about the history, you're probably sitting there thinking, oh, he doesn't know anything. But it's not just monarchy with me. I know about all kinds of different things here and there. So, I mean, I'll tell you some facts now before the vlog ends. Yeah. So our Buckingham Palace, as we all know it today, I'll tell you a few facts. Yes. The whole back part of the palace, the sort of Bath stone part of the palace, was built by George IV, the same guy who made the Royal Pavilion in Brighton. And in the front facade that we see today, that part of the building was done by a Victorian Albert. And in the actual facade that faces London, that was actually reconstructed by Edward VII, and he made it more palatial. And the ballroom was added by Prince Albert. What else? Just trying to think. Well, I mean, that's what I know about Buckingham Palace anyway. I'm a bit blank today because, it's Saturday. I'm just sort of chilling at this home. And I was watching a film called Close Encounters with the Third Kind, and it's actually really shit. If you watch a movie called Marie Antoinette with I can't remember what her name is. I'll find a picture. It's a film called Marie Antoinette, and you can actually see how bad it would have been, because they actually reconstructed Marie Antoinette's bedroom as if it was then. Like they made it look as though how it would have been torn up during the Revolution. And people think of Marie Antoinette just sitting there saying, "Let them eat cake," when she never actually said it. And people just, I go on Amigo sometimes to discuss history with people, and they really piss me off. Have you ever had that thing when you go on there, and there's like some stuck-up guy, and he's sitting there going, "You're not intelligent enough to talk to me," and it's just like, well, you're obviously a stuck-up twat. Why would anybody want to talk to you in the first place? Let me just find the Well, there's a film called Farewell My Queen, which is about Marie Antoinette, and it actually tells you about how she was actually either a lesbian or bisexual, because she was with the king and she had sex with the king. But she had like liaisons with women. And it shows you in the film how she would have been kind of this one. So if you watch that, that just shows you. It just shows you the kind of excess the French monarchy had. And if you people want to add more facts, tell me things I'm missing here, then do so. But I'm not going to get offended if you're sitting there going, oh, what's so good about monarchy? I'm really not interested. I'm just interested in the monarchies because, when I was younger, I used to be fascinated with the Victorians, and then it moved to Titanic, and I also love British country houses like Chatsworth and Wentworth Woodhouse and all the great ones, all the big ones. And I'm also really interested in the aristocratic families, because the aristocratic families were like little miniature royal families themselves. People that lived at Chatsworth. Chatsworth was obviously their, palatial home, and they did the same thing that the royal families did. They had to, the female of the household had to produce an heir as quickly as possible, and that's what annoys me about the monarchies as well, is they had to force all this stuff onto. I talk with my hands a lot. They forced all of that onto the women to have children, and I think that's really stupid. Thank you for watching this mixed match of. Thank you for watching my mixed match video today. I did really want to talk about the Russian Tsars, but I don't have enough time. My video is going to die in a minute, so. But I'll tell you more about this new establishment I'm living at sooner or later. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. My face is a bit red, I don't know why. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.